This is part 3 in a series of replacing the lift assist hydraulic cylinders and a few other of the cylinders on a 2009 R230 SL550 Mercedes Benz. First two parts in the series were dedicated to tearing out the cylinders, and now we have the new cylinders in from Top Hydraulics. So let's take a look, see what's in here. We have our right hand load assist cylinder, roll bar support cylinder, right hand top drive cylinder, left hand top drive cylinder, left hand load assist cylinder, and the left hand lock Pawl cylinder. Working on getting the driver's side load assist cylinder in. I got it placed in roughly the right position. Took my flashlight and just turned it on and shined it through the hole where the grommet goes, and that allowed me to see where, give me a pretty good idea where the bottom of the cylinder needed to be. So I got that lined up in there where it was almost into the right position, and then I just took this screwdriver, stuck it in through the hole where the grommet goes, and used that to get the hole from the bracket with the hole with the cylinder lined up, and then I was able to get this bolt in there. Now I'm going to work on getting the top of the cylinder attached to where it goes below the main load cylinder, and get the pin put in. Okay, I have the head of the cylinder placed in there. Here's the frame, and what I tried to do is just line up the hole from the cylinder so that it was about even with the hole on the frame. And then to get it in the rest of the way, I'll just take this extension here, rest it against the pillar, and use that for leverage, and just push that in like so. And then I will come back, and to get the holes lined up, just take my screwdriver, stick it in there, and move it either up or down, whichever way I need to go to get the hole on the cylinder lined up with the hole on the frame, and then I should be able to put the pin in. Okay, got the holes lined up pretty close. Can't quite get the pin all the way through, so got my persuasion tool here and just give it a little tap. Oh, and there it goes. Went right in. So that pin's in. Now I'll work on putting the clip on the other end. Okay, I got that pin on the clip on the end of the pin. Again, I just used my little screwdriver, put it on the end of the clip, got it lined up, and then I was able to just push it onto my fingers. So that was not a big deal. So that's in place. Next thing, there is try to show you where the wire clip is. There's a wire clip down there, right there. You can see it right there. So that's buried down in there. Going to use these long needle nose pliers to pull that out of there, and I'll also use that needle nose pliers to get the new wire clip in and get that tied up. Once I get that wire, the hose tied up with a wire or zip tie. Then I'll just use my string that I have here, tie it to the end of the hose, and use it to pull through, get to the end of the trunk. Okay, I got my lift assist cylinder from the driver's side cable through, or hose line pulled through, and I'll get this untied, and then I'm going to put in the lock paw cylinder on the roll bar support on the left side of the car as well, and I'll pull that line through. I'm comparing the old cylinder for the roll bar lift with the new cylinder. Here's the old one. One thing you'll notice, this has this plastic guide on here. There's a pin at the top of this clevis. The new cylinder does not have that. So I need to take that guide and pin out of the old cylinder and put on my new cylinder. So I'm gonna do that. The other thing, this cylinder has this guide on it as well. It fits on here on this side where the hoses come out, and kind of pieces together like that. Goes around the head of the cylinder, and there's actually a wire tie that goes on there that will hold that in place. Here's what the cylinder looks like when it's put back together. This little bolt did have some, looked like it had some blue Loctite on it, on the threads, so I put a little bit on there. It wasn't very tight when I took it off, so I didn't tighten it down too tight, just got it snugged up. And this is the plastic piece that goes on there. Goes around the bottom area where the hose comes out, and the other hose goes in between there. This is the little foot where this cylinder is going to go into the support mechanism, and it's got a wire tie going around top. So that's the way it looks. And now this cylinder is going to go in here. It's going to sit back in here, and then this mechanism here, this little clamp's going to go, and there is an arrow on there, points up. That needs to go up, and that's going to sit in there like that to hold that cylinder in. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Here's what it looks like when the head of the cylinder is extended and placed into the solenoid. It just clicks right in here. Just push it right up in there. Working on the left side lock paw cylinders now. Here's the new one. This is the one that came off the car. You can see it has this plastic bracket on here that holds the lock paw cylinder onto the roll bar support mechanism. So I'm going to take this, just slide it off the back, slide it down around the hose, and then move it over to the new one, because the new one does not come with that plastic clip. I have the left side roll bar support mechanism here. I got my lock paw cylinder. I got the little bracket transferred over. So just gonna go ahead and attach this here on the bench. Basically, you put it in like that. This little coupler here, or ridge, needs to go below that groove there. Put it in, then you just turn it 90 degrees, quarter turn, and this will stay up like this and helps hold it in. This is what it looks like once the lock paw cylinder is in with the plastic fitting on it. Okay, I got the roll bar cylinder just placed back in. I don't have it bolted in yet, but I do have the two wire ties that the two wire wire harnesses connected back to it. And I did reconnect the lock paw. That one was had already been replaced, so that is an existing one. One thing just to mention when you are working with this and disconnecting everything, pay attention to how things were oriented when you start taking things apart. So for example, that lock paw, it needs to go down, and it routes on the outside. That hose routes on the outside of that support mechanism, and then goes on up behind the speaker housing. The two hoses for the actual roll bar cylinder, they actually are back in that corner on the hidden side of the cylinder. So those are on one side, the lock paw comes on the other side. So just pay attention to that stuff as you're taking it apart so that you can get it back together the right way. Okay, I got my lines or hoses ran for this roll bar cylinder. As I mentioned earlier, they're coming up here on the back side of the support mechanism, whereas the lock paw is coming up around the front side. So this is real simple. Once I got everything tore out, just ran it along this back channel. And again, I think that made it super easy. I did tie the ends of those hoses to my twine that I had, and then I was able just to pull it through and get it right down here to where I need it at the pump. Okay, the support mechanism for the roll bar just fits in just like that. Got the lock paw cylinder on there that's going down. That's going to loop around, come up here, and run back there. So I'm going to run that cable, get things hooked up to the pump, and we'll see how things work. Okay, I got that last cable from the lock paw pulled through. I'm going to work on getting these hooked up to the pump and kind of getting some of these hoses back in more the right position. I got my hoses put back into the pump, got that plate fastened back down. So the first round of cylinders have been replaced and are connected back to the pump. Okay, I've got the load assist cylinders installed, the lock paw on the driver's side for the roll bar and the new roll bar cylinder. And I put the trunk back down, and it tested it a couple times. I did have to refill the pump a couple times, but it is working. And if we open it up, and if we check the trunk, the lift assist is working in there as well. So as of right now, everything's working as it should. I am now gonna look at tackling the main top lift cylinders. Thanks.